Introducing Support Series 3, Verb Tenses in English, Video 7, Past Perfect, How and When to Use it. Past Perfect. Please note that just watching these videos won't get you to improve upon your verb tenses. You'll actually need to be practicing this actively, but these videos will help you get through some theoretical background on verb tenses specifically to help you get started and to point you in the right direction. Frequently asked questions posed by clients. So how do we indicate that something happened or ended before something else happened or ended in the past? And isn't it true that we sometimes use the past perfect in conditional phrases? Stay tuned to find out the answers to these two questions. Let's start. This video consists of 4 parts. First of all, we're going to focus on the form. Then in part 2, positive and negative statements. In part 3, questions. And in part 4, when to use this verb tense. Note that in this part, the 2 answers will also be given to the questions that were posed earlier. The objective of this video is to refresh your memory when it comes to the use of the past perfect. Part 1, past perfect, the basics, a focus on form. First, start off with the subject, then a form of have. In the case of the past perfect, it's had plus past participle. And note that the past participle can be regular or irregular, so consult the irregular verbs table if you would like to know more about that. Had can also be contracted by means of apostrophe D, but this should not be confused with would, which can be contracted in the exact same way. Would is followed by an infinitive. Part 2, the past perfect in statements, the basics, a focus on form. Let's start with the past perfect in positive statements. I had gone somewhere. I'd gone somewhere. You had gone somewhere. You'd gone somewhere. She had been somewhere. She'd been somewhere. It had snowed here. It had snowed here. We had taken something. We'd taken something. They had worked all day. They'd workd all day. The past perfect used in negative statements. I'd not seen. I hadn't seen. You had not gone. You hadn't gone. She had not bought. She hadn't bought. He had not met. He hadn't met. It had not snowed. It hadn't snowed. We had not bought. We hadn't bought. They had not worked. They hadn't worked. Part 3. The past perfect in questions. The basics, a focus on form. Had I met them before? Had you gone there before? Had she met him? Had it snowed? Had he worked? Had we bought it already? Had they bought it? The past perfect in open-ended questions. When had I been told? Why had you already eaten? Where had she been? When had it snowed? What had he studied? How had we met? When had they left? So like I mentioned at the start of this video, you will need to practice this to be able to start mastering it. So take a course with us, or let us develop a tailor-made language and communication course for you. Alright, so let's move on to the next part of this video. Part 4. The past perfect usage. When to use the past perfect and why. So the past perfect is used to talk about a finished action before a second point in the past. So we usually use the past perfect to make clear which action happened first. This is often used to explain or to give reason for something in the past. For example, I'd done grocery shopping, so I didn't need anything. Note that if before or after are used, the use of this tense is optional. The past perfect is also used for something that started in the past and continued up to another action or time in the past, and it expresses the duration of an event up to a point in time in the past, and is used with words like for and time, but also with stative verbs. For example, on December 31st, I'd been quarantined for X number of months as a result of the country having been locked down. And finally, the past perfect is used to talk about unreal or imaginary things in the past, so it's used in a third conditional and after wish. For example, if I'd known you were stranded here due to problems with public transit, I would have offered you to stay with me. In this video, the past perfect was discussed. Up next, more videos on verb tenses in English. Please note that you can subscribe to stay updated on all things English for specific and academic purposes. So new videos will be published shortly. So if you'd like to learn how to start using them well, and if you'd like to practice them, take a course with us or let us just develop a tailor-made training service for you to make sure that you won't waste any time and money in the long run. Well, that concludes our video, but we'd love to hear from you too, so please comment below and share your experiences. If this video was useful for you, please like it and subscribe to my channel.